Hey guys, welcome back for another video, and in today's video, as you might have read in the title, we're going to talk about 5 best phones of 2020 November under rupees 20,000. So this list includes the best phones you can buy right now in the month of November. So if you're looking for a best phone under 20,000, so this is the right video for you. And at the end of video, we are also going to tell you about some phones which are above 20,000, but you will get them below 20,000 because of some offers going on currently. So let's start the video. The fifth phone in our list is from Motorola, the Motorola One Fusion Plus. Now this phone was launched in a few months ago, and this phone has the Snapdragon 730G processor, 64 megapixel quad camera, full vision display because it has a pop-up selfie camera, and there were some weak points of this phone as well. Like the selfie wasn't that great, it had average rear camera. If you've seen Gyan Therapy's video about its camera review, then you might have understood the camera problems of this phone. And another problem was this phone had pretty big bezels, and it had a rear fingerprint scanner which was pretty old right now. They should have given a side fingerprint scanner as it's an LCD screen. So yes, fifth position, Motorola One Fusion Plus. The full specs are in front of you, and the price as well you can see. So let's move on to the fourth phone right now. It is from Samsung, the Samsung Galaxy M31s. So yes, it is an upgraded version of the Galaxy M31, and now this also has Samsung's best ever display, AMOLED display, and it has flagship 64 megapixel Sony quad cameras, the Sony IMX682, and it has one of the best selfie at the price. It has a 32 megapixel selfie camera, and it has a huge battery which is of 6000 mAh. So these are the highlights of this phone. Now let's talk about these phones' weak points. The processor is pretty poor, Exynos 9611, and the power of this processor is almost equal to Snapdragon 675 or 690. And the build quality of this phone could have been better as it's a very cheap type of build. And another problem is the UI, One UI core. Now this UI has some specifications which are less in Galaxy A series. I mean, there are some specifications of Galaxy A series phones which are not placed in the Galaxy M series phones. So this type of UI is called One UI core. So it's a problem in Galaxy M series phones and F series as well. So this phone comes in the fourth position. Now let's move to the third position phone. On the third, we have the 6-month-old Poco X2. So now, of course, an upgrade of this phone has been available right now, but still this is one of the best phones under 20,000 with a Snapdragon 730G, a 120Hz refresh rate, although it's an LCD panel, dual display selfie cameras, only dual display selfie cameras under 20k probably. And the main highlight of this phone was it has much better brightness than other LCD panels because I personally am a user of Poco X2. The weak points of these phones are average selfie, slight battery drain, and it's slightly bulky. The price and full specs are in front of you, you can definitely look for it. So let's move on to the next phone, which is in the second position. On the second position, we have the upgraded version of Poco X2, which is a Poco X3. Now we recommended you the Poco X2 in this list because Poco X2 prices dropped a lot and the discounted price is in front of you and it's very cheap right now. So that's why it was in the list. Poco X3 is available at the normal price in which Poco X2 was available during launch, and the highlights of this phone are 120Hz of refresh rate, 240Hz of touch sampling rate, 64 megapixels quad flagship camera, and main highlight is a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera. It has stereo speaker, 6000 mAh battery, Snapdragon 732G, which is the fastest processor under 20,000 currently. Now, the weak points of this phone are it is pretty heavy because of the 6000 mAh battery and the LCD display. It's of 230 grams, and another weak point is a plastic back. And another weak point is of course the LCD display. So yes, this phone comes at the second position. The full specs and price are in front of you. So let's move on to the next, the best phone under 20,000 currently according to my opinion, which is the Realme 7 Pro. Why this is the best? Because of the Super AMOLED display. The in-display fingerprint scanner, I just love that, and stereo speakers, and the main highlight, it feels pretty light, 185 grams only. Another highlight is the flagship charger of 65 watts, which is not present in any other phone other than Realme Narzo 20 Pro and Realme X50 Pro and some phones of Oppo. It also has the same Sony flagship quad camera of Poco X3. The one thing that Poco X3 has a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera, and the weak points of these phones are average selfie camera. If you have seen Gyan Therapy's video, you might have understood that the selfie of this phone is not that great, and this is not a camera centric smartphone despite many software updates. So if you want a camera centric smartphone under 20,000, then I would recommend you Poco X3. But if you want a normal usage, decent gaming, and if you like in-display scanners and AMOLED display and all, I would definitely recommend you Realme 7 Pro. And another weak point of both of Poco X3 and Realme phone is that both of them have plastic back. So yes, now the best phone under 20,000 according to me is Realme 7 Pro. So yes, this was the top 5 best phones under 20,000 according to my opinion. Now let's move on to the final segment of this video, where we are going to tell you about some phones which you will get at a very discounted price, which are above 20,000, but due to discounts you get them below 20,000. So yes, so let's start. First we come to two phones we're going to tell you. First is the Galaxy M51. Yes, you can see in front of you the price has been decreased to 19,500 rupees after many offers in Amazon. And the highlights of this phone are AMOLED Plus display, an upgraded version of Super AMOLED display, 64 megapixel quad camera, flagship camera, Sony IMX682, Snapdragon 730G. At this price is pretty decent, but the weak points are not the best build-up quality because of M series phone, and One UI core is already told you, and Gorilla Glass 3 is another problem because other phones at this price are offering Gorilla Glass 5. It doesn't have any stereo speakers, and it doesn't have no in-display fingerprint scanner despite AMOLED display. So yes, these were the negative points of this phone. Otherwise, this is a really great phone under 20,000. Now let's move on to the next one with offers, which is the Realme X3. Now this is a killer deal with offers because it has the flagship processor Snapdragon 855 Plus, 64 megapixel quad cameras with 20x zoom, although the camera is a bit hefty, and 16 megapixel plus 8 megapixel in display selfie, and 120 Hz of refresh rate, although it's an LCD panel. So his camera could have been better, and another problem is that the brightness. The LCD of this phone is not that bright. So yes, that's a problem, but if you can manage with LCD display, no problem. This is the best. So yes, our best phones under 20,000 without offers is Realme 7 Pro. With offers is Realme X3, then comes M51. So hope you like this comparison, and stay tuned for our next video. And thanks for watching, and do like, share, subscribe and comment, and we'll be back with our next top 5 best phones soon, which will be under 15,000. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. Until then, bye.